Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that is going to help you become your best self. And today we are going to be talking about what do you need more of and to focus on your needs first. But before we do that, I want to again apologize for another episode with a scratchy throat. I am a little under the weather, but I'm on the other half of it already. But my throat, my voice might be a little in and out, so I apologize for that. Also, as always, I want to invite you to come say hi to me over on my Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, and I would just love to hear from you in the DMs. Just say, hey, hi. If you have any questions, you have any suggestions, you need a prayer, give a quick prayer request, I would love, love, love to hear from you. If you would prefer to send an email, you're welcome to send an email to realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. I will get back to you there as well, and I look forward to hearing from you. But let's jump into what we're going to be talking about today, which again is what do you need more of, and to focus on your needs first. So I saw a graphic, which, sounds kind of weird, but not really in the day and age that we are. It's 2022, and most of the time we are on social media, we are on the web, we are looking at something on our phone. And if that's not you, then that's fine. I apologize, but that is a lot of us. And, I saw a graphic with a list of 13, I even counted, and I did see this like on Pinterest when I was just looking around, of 13 things we need more of, like sleep, sunsets, long walks, things like that, and it was just a graphic where it literally was like, you need this, and it was just like a little list, and that's all it said. Nothing broken down, no summaries, no reasons why, just a list. But it wasn't those things, like needing more sunsets, which, I did see a really pretty sunset the other day, so that would be cool if I did have more of those in my life. But it wasn't those things that inspired me to talk about figuring out what we need more of. It was the realization after reading that list that we spend so much time figuring out what we need to get rid of and not what needs to be added back in. Like it needs to be, an addition to our life rather than like a subtraction or like a division, depending on how you look at it and what you're trying to get rid of and what you're trying to, add back in. And yes, before anyone is like yelling, however you're listening to this, and it's like, no, Sabrina, we do that all the time. Yeah, we do speak on some habits, that would be helpful to add back in here and there, especially during what is the actual time of this podcast, which is like resolution time, top of the year, really talking about those kind of things. And usually when there are a shift and change and season of life, yes, we will talk about changing habits here and there and things. But even considering that made me really think about how we put most of our focus on what needs to go, like what needs to be eliminated. Like, I want you to really think about it. Like, when we make goals, resolutions, and grand decisions, we are deciding more on what needs to be cut out than added back in. It's even going so far as to encourage people not to add more things in their lives because we can become overloaded and overwhelmed very easily, right? It's just like we're taking in so much from everywhere in our life, from our job, from our family, our friends, from the fun hobbies and things that we were trying to go after and the fun things that we're trying to do. Like, it's a lot. We are asking a lot. We are bringing in a lot, which is true. But there are so many things to consider adding into our lives because we actually need it rather than just want it, right? There are so many things that we want, we desire, we need, we think would actually be like the best thing ever, right? And usually these are kind of thoughts that are floating around in our minds day to day. We might not even realize it because they might be like these desires that have always lingered there and things that you just really want or just really focusing on right now. But really, though, just quick second, think about it. Really think about it. Anytime you're thinking about making a change in your life, it's really revolving around what needs to go and not what needs to come. So, if you haven't asked yourself that question, I really do consider you taking a pause, like actual pause on this episode and being like, hmm, does that feel true for me? And even if it doesn't feel true for you, still, please listen to the rest of the episode. But I want you to actually consider it. Like, have you actually been practicing doing a balance of both, or are you doing more of one than the other? Right? And I think there have been several episodes in the last few months that I have talked about things that we need to get rid of out of our life that are a waste of space and time and energy, which is great. It's helpful. There's nothing against that. But I really want us to focus on what we need, like what we actually need. But again, we do need to consider things that we actually need, like actually, rather than like what we just want. Because there are so many things in life we could consider adding into our lives just because we want it. Just because we want it, right? I want things all the time. Like, I'm not saying that I am this perfect human being that's like, oh yeah, I want for nothing. Everything is just fine. No, no, no. I want things too. I'm normal. I'm human. Like, I love getting new shoes, new clothes. Got no room in my closet for any of those things right now. A new purse. Oh gosh, I love a new purse. It's so nice, designer or not, high end, Target, doesn't matter. Love it. New throw pillows for an already overflowing bed and couch. Yep. I was just thinking today, I was like, man, I really wish I could just go out to, the store right now and buy new throw pillows for the couch just for the different season. But I did not do that. But it'd be nice. Or even a new car. That's been something that's been talked about a little bit around our house. That's more like a sheer, like, my car might die, need a new car. Need a new car. And even outside of material things, we could want more friends, more money, more time. Or maybe you won't admit this, but maybe you want more attention, right? I am not, there was a time where I was, but I am not too ashamed to say that, yeah, there's definitely times where I'm like, oh, I just want more attention, right? And not necessarily from like the world or the internet or anything like that. Even just to people in my normal life. I'm like, oh, come on, pay attention to me. I will need your attention. But that also has a lot to do with like worth and feeling insignificant and my own personal problems, right? It's not them actually like ignoring me. It's just like my own issues. But still, these are things that we want. But these are more selfish desires. Yes, I did say that. These are selfish desires. I know this will make some people upset to hear. That's totally fine. I'm just here to lay out the truth and be honest with you. It's more of a selfish thing. It's things that are just not, these ain't gonna, these things aren't gonna fix things. These things are gonna be temporary solutions. It's not even, you can't even qualify it as a solution. It's just gonna be a temporary thing that makes you feel warm inside until it doesn't, until the sparkle wears off. And it's just some dusty, crusty thing that you don't really need. And the desire and achievement of these things, like all these things that I listed, will not solve the deeper problem you're trying to overcome. It won't. And I don't know necessarily exactly what your deeper problem is, but that's fine. I don't need to know. I just know that if we are continually seeking these things in our lives, there's a deeper problem. If we're just continuing to run and chase these things, there's a deeper problem. We're trying to solve for something that we think we can fit a like circle or like a square figure into a circle hole. It's not going to fit, but it feels like it's going to fit because it feels good in the moment. It feels like you can kind of like twist, turn, pivot. It feels like it's going to work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. We need to focus on things that will help us on a deeper level. And there are so many of us that are just like, oh, I don't want to go deeper. It's not fun. Comes with a lot of emotions, comes with a lot of feelings, comes with a lot of work. It does come with a lot of work. A lot of work that's worth it, by the way. Just want to let you know that. It's hard, it's upsetting, it's tiring, it's annoying. Yes, it's all those things, but it's so worth it. We need to focus on the needs that will help us get on a deeper level, things that will help us heal as a whole person, that tap into the emotions we have hidden away and the ones on display. So, the ones that you see, the ones that you don't, both. We need to be working on both. And it's a lot to ask for, but it's really important. It's really important. I will never not say that it's important to work on what's going on underneath, and your emotions and your vulnerability and your acceptance of those things and your honoring of those things. We can't continue to pretend that pacifying our ever-changing and passing needs will fix all our problems. And that's what it is. That's what getting all of these things, the cars, the money, the time, the attention, you know, just ever-changing, passing needs. It will not fix your problems. It will not make everything go away. It will not, make the picture pretty again for you. And if it does, it's temporary. Be honest with yourself. It doesn't last that long. Not as long as you'd want it to. Also, I made sure to include in the title of this episode, if you noticed or not, totally fine, that we need to be focusing on our own needs first. Now, this is obviously a topic that needs to be dove into deeper in another episode, right? This is not going to contain everything that we need to talk about right here in regards to that. But it's still important to note here, which is why I wanted to bring it up. I do need to put a note to actually come back to this and talk about it again soon. And, it's a cliche saying we need to take care of ourselves first if we want to help anyone else the best we can. Like the best, like not just halfway or 25%, but the best, to the fullest, the most. And yeah, it's cliche, but it's true. I find that most cliches are true. Annoying, for sure, but true. They are. Kind of like some stereotypes. Some stereotypes, a lot of them are true. Annoying, but true. But more so cliches. I find a lot of them to be true. And ask yourself if you haven't and you think it'll be helpful. Even if you don't think it'll be helpful, I think if you haven't, ask yourself this question. How can you do the most for someone else if you don't do the most for yourself first? Right? For others in this life, we are there to help fill them up, right? Not be the one that is constantly drained all the time. Because if you're halfway full and you're trying to go help someone else be filled up, and they are so dry that they take everything that's in you, then you can't go and help anyone else, right? You're like, crap, now I gotta go refill again, but you don't want to do the work. You don't want to take the time to go to full. So again, you go to like half, and then you go to someone else and they're drained. And then you run into someone else that really needed your help, but you couldn't because you had nothing left. Or you did decide to help them and you just got even more depleted. There are no reserves. There's no reserve gas in this tank. You are dead and dusted and dry. That's not where anyone wants to be. No one wants to be there. So I just really need you to focus on filling yourself first and then others next. This leads me to wanting to share with you 5 very important needs I believe we should focus on getting more of. And again, I say this all the time. I say it as kind of like, I don't know, not a disclaimer, but just more of like me being super honest with you. If you find that the 5 that I share with you today are not enough or you need more, please feel free to Google it. Just feel free to Google like the title of my episode in Google and find more. Like find more things that you need. And you'll come up with so many lists because I'm obviously not the only person talking about this on the internet. But if you need more, just Google it, right? See what else you can find out there. But I wanted to highlight these 5 that I thought about and found that they would be the most helpful and ones that really came to me when I was doing the research and really thinking about what I wanted to share with you guys and found most important. Okay? So the first one is we need to chase after our passions more. I really feel like I put this one here to kind of remind myself of what I need and to remind you because I am really bad about continuing the pursuit in my passions. I will start on the chase and then I will give up because I feel like something gets in the way. I put myself in the way, I create obstacles for myself that prevents me from chasing after my passions. And I encourage us all, we need to spend more time chasing after our passions, the things that we want to do, the things that we love, things that bring us joy and contentment. There is going to be a time where we have to do hard things, things we don't want to do, things we have to do to get to the point where we have the time and ability to chase after our passions, but we shouldn't ever give up. We should always continue to be moving forward, putting in our best effort, and doing what we love as much as we can. First example for you, I'm chasing the passion of continuing to put out episodes for my podcast despite sounding crazy and being sick, but it's important to me, right? It's super important to me. And, that's a passion of mine. It's my passion of mine to serve you guys and do as many episodes consistently as I can. Of course, there's going to be times that come up. Recently, there was. If you check the date on this one between the last one, there's 2 missing if you want to look consecutively. And yeah, those ones are missing. I had to go on a work trip and I even brought my microphone with me, but there was no opportunity to record in our living situation where we were staying. But I wanted to, and I was trying to chase my passion and I was trying to do what I wanted to do, what was super important to me, but I couldn't. But I still tried to make the effort. And even today, I'm like, I'm not going to let this sickness get in my way. If I can be heard on the mic and it picks up my voice, as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to do it. So I encourage you, we need to chase after our passions more. This also speaks to me of okay, well, I want to do coaching. I got to get my website together. And I want to, help people. I need to create more content, right? I need to stop making excuses. I need to stop watching Netflix as much. I need to still do those things, but I need to chase after my passions more because those are important. Don't give them up because you feel like you have to do all of these other things that don't bring you as much joy. Make time for those things. I promise you will not be disappointed. You might be more tired some days, but it'll be worth it. I promise. The second one is we need more patience. We need more patience with others and with ourselves. So, starting with others, sometimes people can just grind my gears. They can drive me crazy, but we need to practice more patience with them. We need to be more understanding. We need to give people the benefit of the doubt more. And I don't think this really pushes you to be more naive. It just pushes you, or even to be a pushover. It's just really giving people a little bit more grace. And then if, boundaries need to be set or things need to be done, sure. But you're being more patient. You're giving them a chance. You're not just cutting them right off. You're not trying to really work with them, giving you the room. I believe if you give them the grace, they'll give you the grace. And maybe if it's not directly them, it's going to be someone soon. And you're just really practicing this kindness and love and forgiveness and an example of a wonderful person and who we should be more often. So I encourage you, have more patience with others. And then with yourself, right? Don't expect yourself to always be perfect because no one will ever be perfect, right? Only God. And we're just going to do the best that we can. And every day there'll be a different best. There should be different expectations depending on what's happening. I'm not saying, just let it all go. I'm saying that if it's a hard day, you might not accomplish as much as you would have yesterday or you will tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow everything just aligns better than it did 3 days ago or than it will in 2 weeks. So you have to be more patient with yourself and understand you have to give yourself grace as well as giving other people in your life grace and allow yourself to take breaks and to have ups and downs and to not be perfect and to continually get better on this journey of life. Number 3 is we need diligence in using what we have to earn more. We need diligence. You in my list, my example list of things that we do commonly feel like we need more of, like time and money and even friends and attention. So we'll take those as examples. Instead of wanting more of those things, be diligent in what you have of those things to earn more. So if you want more money, be diligent in the way that you are currently spending your money. Are you spending it on frivolous things, or are you saving some away, making sure your bills are paid while still having some fun? Or in regards to friends, are you taking care of and appreciating the friends that you have now, even if it's just one, to really be asking for more? Are you really like nurturing those friendships? If you're not even taking the time to do that, why in the world do you feel like you need more friends, right? Or if you're asking for more time, are you using the time that you have wisely? You say that you want more time to go after your passions, to work on this, to get work done. Well, are you using your time at work wisely, efficiently? And if you're not, why don't you ask someone, like, how do they get all their work done in a day, right? Really ask them, get some tips. Or if you're saying you don't have time to work on your passions outside of work, like, what are you doing outside of work? Do you have another job? Okay. Do you have like a lot of laundry or chores to do? Or are you just sitting around doing nothing, wasting time, maybe taking too long to do certain things that less time can be spent on and still, be fulfilled and still be able to carve out some time to work on your passions? And if you're saying you want more attention, you need to be diligent with the attention that you're getting now. Maybe you are not appreciating the attention you're getting from someone in your life because you desire it from someone else, which is a natural thing. I understand. However, again, you have to be appreciative of where you're getting it now, if it's appropriate. I understand that there's some times where it's not. And really take that in and understand why and understand what is happening in that situation and how you can naturally garner that from someone else without trying to act out to get more of it. So, you know what I mean? You need to be diligent with what you have, cherish what you have, work hard for what you have, continue to move forward, and you will get more of those other things that you really, really want. Number 4 is we need more mistakes and failures. I talk about this all the time. I will never stop talking about it. We need more mistakes and failures. And I'm saying this like straight to myself. If I was looking in a mirror right now, which I'm not, I'm looking at a screen to make sure I'm not talking too loud. I am saying this like directly to the deepest part of my soul and to all of you. We need mistakes and failures. We need to fall down. We need to go wrong. We need to go in the wrong direction. We need to have to start over, or we need to like tweak things, right? We need to have those experiences because that's where we learn, that's where we grow, that's where we expand, that's where we become better, right? We need to not be so scared to step out of our boundaries, of our comfort zones. We need to understand that it's worth it. It's worth it to take the chances. It's worth it to be wrong so that we can be right later and we can understand what we should do and what we don't. So we're not scared and locking ourselves in a box to not want to try anything new and just be stagnant and boring or never progress in what we're doing. We need more mistakes and failures. So super important. If you don't take anything else away from this, please take that one. More mistakes and failures equals growth and learning. Amazing learning lesson. That's that. And number 5, we need more faith and hope. With more faith and hope, we will have less fear. We will understand that if we do have mistakes and failures, ups and downs, changes in seasons of our life, where seasons go up and down and all around, if we have faith and hope that we are going to continue to make it through and know that we can persevere, then it's going to be okay. It's not going to be easy. Nope. I don't think I ever said that. I think many times in this episode I did say it won't be easy. It'll be hard, but it'll be worth it. And you will become an even better person every single time over that you go through these hard times, even the good times, because you continue to persevere. You continue to have faith that you would pull through. You continue to have hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that you were able to not necessarily come through unscathed, but come through whole and together and with new vision and new ideas and new appreciation, right? And the ability to understand that we are all different, but we're all the same. And just to really appreciate your own life so much more than you did before. So, more faith and more hope for less fear. It's amazing. And we all need more of that. And that's all five. That's all five I have to share with you today. So I really hope that talking about what I feel like you really, really need more of in your life has been helpful, and to focus on those needs for yourself first and then encourage other people to have those same needs. But that's all I have. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. I encourage you to share the show, and I appreciate you and I thank you for already listening, downloading, and sharing the show with everyone you know. You guys are amazing, like simply amazing. And again, I apologize for my voice, but I hope it was okay. And I hope to hear from you on Instagram at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, or send me an email to realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. All the information on how to spell it is down in the show notes below, along with great notes to go along with the show. So, well, I hope I hear from you soon. But until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.